Hi, my name is Nat, amateur radio call sign W8NAT, and I just wanted to make a little video for you about my recently purchased Wolf River Coils TIA Take It Anywhere kit, which is based on their Silver Bullet 1000 coil and some teeny tiny legs. The first thing to note is that the antenna itself comes in a box. They don't just send you a bunch of individual parts or wrap it all up in duct tape. They actually use a shipping box, which is quite a nice touch. Now the cool thing is, if you open the box, you find a plastic bag with all of the antenna parts in it and some spare newspaper. I didn't even know they made newspaper anymore, but that's not part of this project, so I'm not going to pay much attention to that. So here's everything that comes in the box in a much more nicely laid out fashion. Up at the top you have the extendable whip, which goes to 102 inches. The meat of the matter, which is the coil, it is called the Silver Bullet 1000, and that white ring is adjustable so you can tap into various parts of the coil. It's basically a screwdriver antenna. Underneath that are 3 legs that can screw into the little hub to the right of them. And over to the left are 3 33-foot radial wires that also attach to the hub. They also give you a little bit of instructions, but it doesn't really matter because who reads those? I did want to particularly note how nicely these radial wires are packed and bundled together. Take a good look at them because you'll never see them this nice again. Once you snap these zip ties, everything goes everywhere. Be careful snapping them. You do not want to cut the wires. The radial wires are designed with a little hoop connector that fit right over the ends of the legs as you screw them into the central hub piece. You just place the wire right in there and twist the leg into place and tighten down the nut to hold the wire in place. You could also use super glue, but only if you're an idiot. This is the central hub itself that the coil and the coax and the 3 legs and radials all attach to. It wobbles when you touch it right before you video it. It reminds me of the centerpiece of the old Starduster CB antenna, which consisted of a quarter wave sticking up and 3 sticking off the sides. But in this case, the legs are not quarter waves. They just hold the radials in place. Now, since I only have 2 hands and 1 camera, which is in one of the hands, I couldn't show you myself attaching this, but this is the finished product of attaching 1 leg and 1 radial to the hub. I opted to have the wires stick off to one side as opposed to pointing up or down from the hub, and that way I could put all 3 of them nice and neat in a way that pleased me when I looked at it, which I will never do when I'm actually using the thing. Okay, so here's the hub with all 3 radials attached. You'll see I've gathered the radials up into nice bundles. These are not coiled. They are done using the over-under coiling method that any good audio-video person and every ham radio operator should know, so that you can unwind them without getting tangled up all to hell and wanting to die. And this is a short film of what it looks like when a large man without camera stabilization walks up to a tripod that he has just put on a piece of concrete. But it does show how I've got the radials laid out. They aren't at perfectly even angles, but I do have them pointing out pretty much in each direction. This one goes back to the far corner of the yard into the little jungle there. And similarly, this one goes over not quite to the corner, but right up against the neighbor's fence, which happily is wooden. And the third one goes off at an angle that gets lost in the camera. And once again, I did the work while you weren't looking, attached the coil and the element and the coax. The next thing I didn't film for you was me playing with the radio right after getting this tuned up, mostly trying to make contacts and failing on Olivia. Then I started playing on sideband, and I heard this guy, who is from over here in Slovenia. That's right, Slovenia. And I made the contact. Got it in the log. We gave each other 5 7s. He was lying because I had to say my call sign at least 6 times before he heard me. But there you go. I did make it to Europe. After dinner, I went back to the radio expecting 20 meters to be dead, but it was still hopping. The band was open. And so I did grab my camera and record myself making this contact.
Have a great night. This is November 3, Zulu Bravo. Who's next?
Whiskey 8, November Alpha Tango.
Whiskey 8, November Alpha Tango. Do I have it right?
Absolutely, sir. You're a good 5859 into Michigan tonight, just outside of Detroit.
Roger, Roger. You are 59 Montana, Nate. 59 Montana.
Beautiful, beautiful. Working with a brand new antenna. I got a Wolf River Coils portable antenna hooked up in the backyard and testing it out tonight, and I'm really happy with it.
Well, it sounds real good. I hope you're going to use that on field day?
I'm hoping to. I work on Saturday, but I work nights, so I'm at least trying to get some activity in during the morning.
Okay, well, real good. I hope you make a lot of contacts. I just threw you QRZ if you need Montana 20, okay?
Excellent, excellent. I'll have you in there in a moment as well.
All right, fantastic. Have a great night. Good working you. Whiskey 8, November Alpha Tango. This is November 3, Zulu Bravo in Montana. Who's next?
So, yeah, buddy, I'll take that 1,450-mile contact at night on 20 meters, but I'm not going to click on that free download thing. So I'm impressed so far. At least it works on 20 meters, and I hope to do some tests on 40 and 30 soon. And that's pretty much the video. If you click subscribe and the little bell, you will probably be very disappointed at how rarely I upload anything.